Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Hot Seat, a wireless design and development interview series where we talk about the latest wireless technologies, components, and design issues for the wireless design engineering community. Today we are speaking with Craig Miller, the Vice President of Marketing for Sequans Communications. Craig Miller is responsible for driving Sequans' global product and corporate marketing strategies. He is a technology industry veteran with an excellent track record in product management, marketing, strategic planning, and business development over the course of his 20-plus year career. Can you provide a brief background of Sequans Communications and how the LTE chip maker got involved with the module business?
Sure. Thanks, Megan, for having me. Sequans is we've been in the 4G chip business for about a decade. We've been developing and perfecting over the years our 4G baseband and RF technology to serve mobile broadband applications. Initially, that was driven out of the WiMAX market. There's a lot of similarities between WiMAX technology and LTE technology, and we naturally evolved. As LTE emerged, we moved our product focus and our R&D focus over to LTE. And so we've been developing, now we're onto our third generation of LTE chipsets already. As far as the modules go, it's really, the best way to think of it is it's a delivery vehicle. It's a packaging, a way of us to package our chipset technology to make it easier for device designers to use and design in that technology, faster to market, lower overall development costs. So there's a whole host of reasons why we've done that for the LTE only market using our module approach.
And can you get into some of the benefits for wireless designers who choose to use these modules?
Sure. The primary benefits I kind of hinted at are related more to the complexity of designing, developing, certifying, and launching a product. The use of a certified module, one that's already approved for use on these LTE operator networks, gives tremendous savings in terms of development costs, R&D costs, and maybe more importantly than all of that, time to market. So this significantly compresses the amount of time required to get a new product using LTE technology, get that new product to market, because we've done a lot of the heavy lifting for the device designers ahead of time by certifying it on the carrier networks. And of course, we deliver a fully tested, proven hardware design, shielded, tested, yielded. It's ready to go. It's kind of a plug and play sort of approach to designing LTE connectivity into a whole host of applications.
And what about for wireless operators? Are the benefits the same, or are there different ones that they can get from the modules?
Well, the operators, their motivation is about growth and getting subscribers and devices onto their network, and about moving their data traffic, especially their data traffic, off of legacy 2G and 3G networks and onto these new LTE networks, because the spectral efficiency is much greater. The economics of connecting, say, a laptop or a tablet or a digital camera, what have you, a consumer device, the economics of doing that over an LTE network are much, much better for the operator than for a 2G or 3G connection. So there's a lot of incentives for the operators to have these kinds of modules available to the device community that serves their customers.
Can you discuss some of the unique features of Sequans modules and what sets them apart from other modules that you find on the market?
Sure. Well, primarily when you look at the cellular module market, if you will, the overwhelming majority, in fact, almost I would say 100% of them they're multi-mode. They're built using both legacy network technology support as well as the new LTE technology support. What's different about ours is we've eliminated the legacy network technology, and we're focused on delivering a pure LTE only device experience, which has a lot of advantages versus the multi-mode counterparts. I hinted at some of them earlier, but one of them is cost. An LTE only module is lower cost than a multi-mode counterpart. It's lower IPR rates. They're smaller. They're lower power consumption. So there's a whole host of advantages you get from being LTE only. And then on top of that, we believe that our LTE is superior in many ways to those that are available from other of our competitors in terms of we support Category 4 150 megabit throughput. We have some unique features and advanced support for things like EMBMS. Sequans Air is our interference rejection technology. All these attributes that we provide in our solution that make it perform better and then still deliver on the economic advantages and the time to market advantages that I referred to earlier.
And in your opinion, what is driving the growth of the Singlemode LTE module?
Right. So single mode LTE only market, I kind of discussed earlier it's important because what we're seeing is you have operators around the world in the US, Korea, Japan, and pretty soon you're seeing it in Europe and Latin America as well, who recognize the economic incentives or are trying to take advantage of the economic benefits of LTE 4G over the legacy networks. They're simply much more economical in terms of moving data traffic. You've seen all manner of studies that say that the emergence of mobile broadband is driving traffic up and to the right continuously. These old networks, the 2G and 3G networks, simply can't deliver the user experience, can't handle the traffic load, and certainly the costs of delivering a bit on an LTE network is much, much lower than on a 3G network. So the operators are clearly incentivized to move the traffic to LTE. So they're building these great networks. I think in the United States, Verizon Wireless is a great example. They've got virtually nationwide coverage with their LTE footprint now. We see the similar thing in other countries like Japan and South Korea, and soon it'll be true around the world where you've got nearly ubiquitous coverage with LTE, and there's no cost advantage or economic incentive to keep the legacy technology support in these devices. So we think LTE only is going to become a very big and very important market, and we're pretty excited to be serving it with these what we consider to be highly optimized LTE only module designs.
And can you explain to me what the significance of Verizon Wireless is? Because I know it said in the press release that you guys are certified by them. Can other carriers utilize Sequans modules, or is it just specifically with Verizon Wireless?
Well, our chipset technology, you got to remember, ultimately we're selling a chipset, and that chipset can serve carriers around the world. We've shipped this chipset into carriers in China, Japan, Korea, Australia, Latin America, Europe, and the US. It is true that the first modules, these EasyLink LTE modules that we've launched, are certified specifically on the Verizon network. And that's because Verizon has, at this time, the most, the closest to a ubiquitous coverage footprint for LTE in the United States. It won't be long before other carriers in the US, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, are going to have very impressive networks of their own. And of course, we would expect to serve those markets as well with either our modules and or our chipset business. Again, the module is about making it easy for device designers to get to market quickly with a known good certified module. So we'll take that approach on other carriers if the business case makes sense, or if our device customers would rather take our chipsets and design them in a more discrete fashion. That's our traditional business model anyway, and we're happy to do that as well. And we're ready for those products are ready to serve other carriers beyond Verizon.
And is there anything else that you would like to add to the discussion, maybe provide our viewers some insight on what we can expect from Sequans Communications in the future?
Well, I think I'll go back to our track record. We've been doing this for a decade, 4G modems, 4G baseband and RFICs. We've done 6 generations of chips, and we're going to continue that investment in moving the performance ahead, moving the features ahead, improving the cost structure and the accessibility of LTE and LTE advanced technology. whether it's in a module form factor or in just our chipsets. That's you can continue to see us. You'll see us continue to invest in moving the technology ahead. The other thing I would say is, because we see this LTE only universe, this world where there's great LTE networks with great footprint around the world, you'll see the market segmenting, and you'll see, and we're ready to serve that segmentation as, maybe in the machine-to-machine Internet of Things market. Like the first module we announced, the VZ20Q, you can barely see it here because it's so small, which is one of the benefits. But that module really is ideal for this emerging market, what we call Internet of Things, machine-to-machine, connected consumer products, things like that. So we're addressing that segment of the market with our modules and with our chipsets that are uniquely designed for the requirements of that market. At the same time, we recognize things like laptop computers, tablets, are going to require very high performance and aren't going to compromise on features or performance. So we're also segmenting our product portfolio to be able to serve that market. So we have the Stream Lite LTE family that serves the consumer and M2M market, and the Stream Rich family that delivers the performance and features required of some of the higher end products out there. So that's our portfolio is set up to serve that emerging market as it builds out.
Well, great. I would just like to take this moment then to thank you for joining us on this episode of WDD's HotSeat and discussing the Singlemode LTE modules. Thank you, Craig.